In addition to ensuring Chun's family's safety, he can reward him with something Chun values highly. Now they must do the first task. Inside the car, the curious otaku asks if the action figure can also control time inside his storage space. Is your power capable of that too? This question makes the protagonist think that maybe going back 3 months in time is part of his power. Maybe he controls time and space. After speeding through vast snowfields, they arrive at the location where the otaku's power will be put to the test. Using his snow power, he manages to, after minutes of maximum effort, clear a path to a gas station completely buried in snow. Zhang Yi immediately thinks, with Chun's powers, it should be even easier to obtain resources for him to store. As a reward, he gives Chun a chocolate, knowing that the user's power depends on his energy. Zhang Yi goes into the gas station to get everything inside, and after a while in there, he comes back. Chun says he's amazing. His power is the best of all. Being able to store everything he wants is perfect for current times. Zhang Yi affirms that the chubby guy also has a great power. He never thought of using his power to dig up things buried by the snow before. Heading back to the car, Chun says he never even thought of leaving his room. He was always too busy dating his wives. To reward his work, Zhang Yi says that as long as he obeys, he'll do well. This backpack full of food is his reward for today only. Very happy, Chun didn't expect so much. He swears he'll follow him forever. On the way back, they now have a bit more intimacy. Zhang Yi asks how the otaku discovered his powers. Ashamed, Chun recounts that after his parents died, he became very sad, immersed himself in the 2D world, and masturbation. Once, after more than 26 times, he thought he was going to die, but the next day, he was alive and had his powers. Zhang Yi covers his face in embarrassment. He never thought someone would awaken after nearly dying 26 times. He says from here on, Chun should return to his village alone. The reason is that his car can't go any further because it's a frozen lake. Before leaving, Zhang Yi asks him to be careful. In the post-apocalyptic world, many things become dangerous, including his own people. While the otaku goes home, the protagonist alone in his car says the kid is a good person. Returning home, the man who is the new village leader scolds Chun for going to deal with Zhang Yi alone. Even though he said it was okay and he knew how to negotiate, the leader was not satisfied. Upon learning that the outcome of the negotiation was cooperation rather than revenge, the old man becomes angry with him. The old leader points and says that it's Chun's fault that so many died. Now he wants to take credit by making friends with the enemy and saying he's protecting the village. The chubby guy tries to explain that he promised his grandfather he would protect the village, and this was the way he managed to prevent Zhang Yi from attacking their village in revenge. The man says it doesn't matter. He's now the new leader of the Zhu clan, so Chun's actions must be consulted with him first. Chun can't do things on his own. The old man also says he wants what's best for everyone. He was only not expelled from the village because the old man defended him, so now he's in debt. From now on, he must pay for his sins. He yells, asking if he understood the message. Understood? Understood? Chun agrees that he did. The old man orders him to go home to recover and wait for new orders. The old leader says again not to act on his own again. Without wasting time, the old man sent a message to the village residents group. Don't worry, I'm in contact with Zhang Yi to ensure our safety. We're no longer in danger. The other people then praise the 6th leader, saying he's amazing. They should have made him clan leader from the beginning. With this, the old man says that such a young loser who never got any real girls can't beat him. Zhang Yi returned home and told his 2 girls what happened. Thanks to their agreement, Chun's people will no longer be a risk to them. Yang Mi says that this is brilliant and was a good choice. Zhou Qi asks if the girl is scared of them. Yang Mi says no, she just didn't want to see any more senseless bloodshed. If things continued, it could get dangerous. Zhou Qi, who is used to this, says that Yang Mi is fearful. She hugs Zhang Yi and says that he's incredible and can defeat whoever he wants. Yang Mi shouldn't doubt that or be afraid. Zhang Yi, on the other hand, defends the idea that it's good for them to have these people around for when new enemies appear in the future. They can be useful. Now that this problem has been resolved, Zhou Qi says they should celebrate. She goes to the bar to get some drinks. Zhang Yi says he's not used to drinking much, so just a little. Meanwhile, Yang Mi will cook for them. Zhou Qi gets the drinks, Yang Mi makes food, and sometime later, the 2 of them are passed out, and Zhang Yi, who doesn't usually drink much, is fine. The 2 of them slept Zhang Yi with lust, saying it's great. Yang Mi opens her eyes and feels a kiss on the mouth, then on the neck. She tells him they can't. Zhou Qi is here and will see them. Zhang Yi goes down, and she holds back from making noise. The next day, the otaku sends a message to the protagonist. Check out the otaku's photo, guys. Chun says he's bored. It's been a long time since they went on a mission. He even suggests they should form a team of 5 people, each wearing a different color like the Power Rangers. Zhang Yi, embarrassed by this guy, starts to wonder if it's really a good idea to ally with such a crazy person. Nervously, the protagonist asks Chun if he doesn't have anything better to do all day. He says unfortunately not. It was just a bit of intimacy, and Chun started sending 200 messages a day. Zhang Yi just started ignoring everything he said and replying stockpiling without much thought. While the protagonist is on his computer, he sees that Zhang Mi is doing her work in the garden perfectly. It seems like everything is going well, but it crosses Zhang Yi's mind. What if they get hacked again? This problem keeps bothering his mind. How can he solve it? As he thinks about this problem, the two girls are in the room discussing. Zhang Mi wants to help Xin, who is wheelchair-bound, but Zhokir says Zhang Yi wouldn't do that. He wouldn't put himself at risk for things that aren't for his benefit. Because of this, Zhang Mi says that to convince Zhang Yi, who is very cautious, she will use her most powerful weapon, her body. Zhokir scoffs and says she just wants to seduce her boyfriend and is making up excuses. It's not for Xin. It's not like that. Zhokir goes after the girl, saying she knows about the things they're secretly doing. She questions if her cousin isn't ashamed to do this. Suddenly, Zhang Yi appears in the room asking what's going on, why so much excitement on the bed without him there. They even say that this is a family matter, but he sits next to them and says the three of them have no more secrets. He asks if they're worried about someone in their family. Zhokir responds that since the snowstorm started, she lost contact with her family and doesn't know if any of them are alive. Zhang Mi says it was her family that contacted her. The protagonist asks if they contacted her to take Zhang Mi with them. She says no, so she's sad because they didn't want to take her with them. Zhang Mi explains that, in fact, the person who contacted her is in danger and needs to be safe, so they're secretly discussing how they're going to convince him to go save someone who has nothing to do with him. Zhang Mi then begs him to help. This is the only family they have. Zhokir agrees that it has nothing to do with him, but it's their family, and if she dies, they'll feel guilty of the rest of their lives. Besides, his wife's family is his family too. Zhang Yi asks again to make sure. Are you asking me to go out there and risk myself for someone else? He reminds them that their information has been exposed. Many other people know that he has many resources here, so this place is a target. Leaving here means leaving it unprotected. He had decided and was leaving the room when they crawl over, begging him to change his mind and think it over. Zhokir says that if he does this, she can ask for anything, and she'll accept it. Whispering in his ear, she says anything at all. It can even involve her and Zhang Mi together. Gentlemen, I inform you that Zhang Yi changed his mind. He asks if she's sure about this. The two, embarrassed, say they agree. Zhang Mi sighs and says that in this cold weather and with so much snow, a wheelchair-bound person can't even move freely. She gets sad just thinking about it. Zhang Yi asks if they're talking about Xin, the one with technology skills. The 18-year-old girl has her legs paralyzed and is a computer genius. Zhang Yi affirms that if this girl is so important to them, then she's important to him now too. Zhokir is impressed. So does that mean her boyfriend has a good heart? He really loves them to care about their wishes. Zhang Mi thanks him happily but says they think poorly of him. He's not a bad person. He genuinely appreciates the girls he has. Impressed, they remark that he always seems like someone cold and with a frozen heart. Zhang Mi remembers she'll pay off this debt to him and gets closer, puts her hand in a place they like and says, this is the beginning of repayment. The next day, because things got hot late yesterday, the three of them talk again. He asks about the wheelchair-bound girl. Zhokir says it's better for Zhang Mi to say, Xin is trapped in Tianqing Academy. It was the best college in town. People who study there have been attending since kindergarten, so it was a place where many geniuses live. Zhang Yi's doubt is how a wheelchair-bound person survived in a college for months. Zhang Mi explains that the college has its own market system, so there should be plenty of supplies in the area since the students lived there. The protagonist asks why Zhang Mi only communicated with her now. She doesn't know, but she can try calling to find out more. However, the number in question is not available. Please try again later. Zhang Mi has been trying to contact her several times and can't anymore. Zhokir jokes that Xin must have changed her mind about asking for help from her airhead sister. Zhang Yi wants to know the distance from the academy to this place they are. Perhaps because of the distance, the phone lines don't work. The academy is more than 22 kilometers from here, and because of the blizzard, it's likely that they can't call from that far. It's a miracle that she managed to call once. But still, Zhang Yi also says that Zhokir may be right. He tells them to go to the control room. Maybe they can get in touch over the internet. He says that this phone is the best one currently available. On the first attempt, the call is answered. But the connection is bad. They hear a lot of noise and screams saying it's dangerous. Zhang Yi asks what's so dangerous, and then they hear shouts saying, the monster, the monster. The noises coming from the phone sounded like a fierce monster, and then the call dropped. Initially, the protagonist thought it was a simple rescue mission, to go to the location and come back. However, he already knows in advance that there's something very dangerous there. Perhaps it wouldn't be a good idea to go to that place. His women insist that he doesn't change his mind. He already had his reward last night. Zhang Yi confidently says he won't change his mind. However, for that, he'll need his subordinates and their power. With Uncle Yu, the otaku, and him with their weapons, maybe it won't be dangerous. He picks up the phone and says he has a mission to rescue someone. Do you want to come with me? The otaku accepts and says he was really bored anyway. Later, while eating, Zhang Yi thinks that if he eats too much, it could affect his movements, but he also needs to eat enough to have maximum energy for his powers. In addition to preparing his physical form, time, he has to prepare his best weapons to face this unknown creature. He also informs his wives that for their safety, they will stay in the underground floor of the house. Zhang Yi asks why, and Jokir, knowing what her boyfriend is like, says she shouldn't ask stupid questions. If he ordered and didn't ask, then it's to be done. He'll go alone, and if someone invades their house during that time, he's away. His wives will be protected inside the safest place in the house. Those doors no one can open. Understanding the situation, Jokir says it's okay and wishes him luck. Yang Mi says he must bring her sister home. Zhang Yi confirms that he'll make sure to bring her and all the wheels of the wheelchair here. As he leaves, he says in these dark times, he can't be careless with anything, especially with his wives. Bro, I'm here. Zhang Yi says they agreed to meet later, so why is he here already? Chun says he was afraid of being late, so he came early not to disappoint his brother Zhang Yi. They got into the car right away because it's very cold. Zhang Yi explains that they're on a mission to save a girl in a college far from here. Curious, Chun asks if she's important to him, and the protagonist says yes, it's something like that. We know what really convinced him wasn't the request from his wives that made him change his mind, but the fact that this girl knows a lot about computers at this moment when he needs someone to keep his mansion safe from hacker attacks. They speed up, and along the way, Zhang Yi gets annoyed with the otaku's conversation about a girl from the village